All right, fuck shit cocksucker. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of the Lone Wolv Podcast. I'm your host, Wolfson, back at it again. Before we get started, guys, thank you so much for the 100 subscribers. We hit it. We finally fucking hit it all after a year of hard working, making this motherfucking podcast happen and getting all the hottest people over to the show. We fucking nailed it. And for those of you who don't know, I finally have my own custom URL. Finally, my YouTube channel is no longer channel H71478HG.
You had it memorized?
I had it memorized because I've been dealing with that battle for the whole fucking year, bro. Now it's officially, the channel is the Lone Wolv Podcast because nobody has it but me. Let's go! Now we're going to get to the real shits, all right? Everybody, please say hello and welcome to one of my homies from school, from SAE. He's definitely killing it in the scene as a rapper, as a producer, as an engineer. Please say hello to Vivo from Los Brigados. Let's go!
Thank you. It's I'm excited to be here, man. This is fun. I've been wanting to do this.
I'm excited for you to be here. So first things first, man. How are you, man? How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's going good. I got my own studio here, Paper Brigade Studios. It's been getting a little bit more busy since the pandemic and everything's starting to open up and people are more comfortable coming through and recording. So studio's been busy, the music's going well. I feel like as an artist, we've been gaining a lot of traction. I have a group called Los Brigados. It's me and one of my best friends, and things are going well with the music as well.
That's dope. Wait, so that's actually your actual studio that you own it?
Correct.
Damn, where's it located at so people can actually hit you up and do other stuff?
Hialeah, Florida.
Yeah, rayo. Hialeah!
Hialeah, baby.
Hialeah, let's go!
Hialeah, baby. Hialeah is the most Miami you could get.
It's the whitest shit that you can say is Hialeah. It's like, no, bro, it's Hialeah. Like Hialeah, like no, bro, Hialeah. It's like no, okay, all right, yeah. I forgive you. You're not from around here, so I forgive you. It's okay.
You know what's up.
So, man, first things first. Can you tell everybody what's your name, what you do, and what you're currently doing right now?
Absolutely. My name is Vivo. I go by Turn Me Up Vivo on all social medias. I am a studio owner. I am a recording mixing engineer. I am a producer. I'm an artist. I'm a songwriter, kind of multifaceted. There's a lot of things I do. And for the most part, what I'm doing with this studio here is I'm kind of turning it into a multimedia company, because we're able to produce all types of media, so I'm getting into a lot of content creation. I do a lot of that for myself and for my group. And, I'm trying to use that as a portfolio to branch out and be able to do that for other artists, companies, and, things of that sort as well.
That's pretty dope, man. So you say that the name of the studio was Paper Brigades, correct?
Paper Brigade Studios, correct.
So how many studio rooms does the studio itself has?
Well, that's the funny part. It's Paper Brigade Studios, plural, but it's only one. But I kind of did that, with the hindsight of, expanding. And, I do have the possibility of creating another studio. So, when business starts booming the way that I'm expecting it to, I'll be able to expand out and, build another studio in the back as well.
And how often you actually get business from the studio itself? Like, do you actually get very busy every weekly basis or something like that?
Yeah. For the most part, like I said, it's been picking up since everything's been opening up since the pandemic,
Right.
People are looking to get back out there and recording and if they're not recording here, I get a lot of, tracks sent over to me and I just do the mixing, send it back. A lot of business is done over the internet anyways, and I think more so now. And
you get that very often right now. Like, after the pandemic, everybody decides I want to be an artist.
Yeah. I want to say especially during as well. So during the pandemic, I was getting I feel like a lot of people got a lot of, got the motivation to get their own home studio recording setup. So, they record and, without the experience of being able to mix, they're like, why doesn't it sound this way? They send it over to me, man. I'll make you sound like a superstar.
That's what's up. That's
my job.
Yeah, I mean that's the title of us as mixing engineers. We make sure you look good.
Exactly.
Damn, bro. So how much you normally would charge with these mixing sessions and stuff?
So my rate's a flat $50 an hour. You know, if you get a package, like if you're booking 4 hours, I knock off like $10 off the top. You know, you book 8 hours, I knock like $30 or $40 off the top. You know, so you know, I like to sit here for a good 8 hours and just knock out a bunch of things. You know, I feel like a lot of people tend to just get the minimum of 2 hours.
Right.
You know, especially if they're inexperienced and they realize like you really can't get too much done within 2 hours because you're going to have to record your entire song in an hour. And then I only get an hour to mix. So you're really not getting, you know, the turn me up Vivo sauce if you're only giving me an hour to mix at the end of the session. You feel me?
I agree. Like a lot of people don't realize that, you know, like they believe that because of quote unquote, you know, like, oh shit, $50, that's a lot of money for me paying for, you know, for a session, you know, I can do this at home and shit. But and then again, it's like, okay, you can definitely do that for a session. I've mentioned this before in my podcast. Like, you know, it all boils down to what you're trying to look for. You know, if you can definitely make music in your room and convert your entire room into a studio proof room. It's possible. Save yourself some money. You don't need to go into the studios. But then there's the other con and into it is like, you don't get the creativity out of it. You're basically bringing, I'm not saying strangers as like it's a bad thing, but you know, you're trying to bring people from different backgrounds coming over to your place, you know, like sometimes you want to be a little bit private. You don't need everybody to know how your place looks like, where you live. You know, that's also an issue of bringing people like visitors, like depending on where you live. If you're on your mom's place, are they allowed to come in your mom's place?
Right.
I mean, the parking situation, if you live in an apartment, you know, are you bothering people in your neighborhood?
You got to be quiet. You got neighbors in an apartment. You know, you can't be banging music, you know, but I'm in a commercial space. You know, so even though like all the businesses around me run till like, you know, 9 to 5 p.m.
Right.
I really don't have an issue because I'm pretty sure the way that these units are built, that there's like thick concrete between my space and the office next door. So I haven't had any complaints, even when I'm, you know, recording and mixing during the day. So, you know, that type of freedom, because I used to take clients at my apartment. You know, I've been a recording and mixing engineer for like over 10 years at this point.
Right.
And, you know, I worked at different studios and I would take personal clients at my apartment, you know, or even back when I was living with my parents, you know, I would take clients there too. And, you know, there's a lot of limitations when it comes to that.
And I was actually going to get into that part. Like it becomes a little bit limited to when you're doing stuff inside your own space versus that you can actually save out some of that money and go to an actual studio and actually can do all that stuff. And, you know, sometimes you can even, let's say like you give the 8-hour package, you're stuck throughout the entire day in the studio, that maybe in that the whole day saves you like 5-10 sessions.
Yeah.
And you can knock it off that one day. Maybe you can actually like do that one song that you wanted in that one day, mix and master, and it's like, all right, we're ready to go. Let's go. Let's just market and shit. So that actually makes much more sense in this stuff.
Absolutely. And you know what it is when you're in the studio and you have this momentum.
Yeah.
You know, you catch a vibe and it's like, you know what, let's milk this. Let's milk this feeling that I have right now.
Absolutely.
And try to get the best quality work and the most work that we can possibly get done within this allotted time.
See, that's how I feel most of the time as well. When I'm working with people, and especially in my podcast, like that, I don't want people to feel like there's a time limitation to when we're doing stuff. Like, no. Like, if you're feeling it, just like keep it rolling. Like until both of us are tired. I was like, yo, I'm fried. Like, let's call it a day. It's like, all right, cool. But if you're, like you said, if you actually feel it and the milk is keep going, like, don't stop, bro. Like that, because at the long run, it'll be much more beneficial than coming, let's say, an hour or two of session, and then shit, I gotta come back next week for an hour or two, and then and so on and so on. And then you'll feel like it didn't feel the same energy as the first time. The second time didn't feel it, and the third time I probably came back again, but then like we had to rewrite it again or reshoot it.
Right.
You know?
Oh, and then you book that minimum for 2 hours, and you feel like, okay, I got 2 hours, I got to get it done. And you're not. Music is a vibe, man. You know this.
Yeah.
Like if you're truly a musician, an artist, you understand that music is a feeling. It's a vibe. And if you don't like, that's why it's like a lot of people like to come into the studio and drink. That's their vice. If you come into the studio and smoke weed, that's your vice. You do other drugs, that's cool too. Whatever, man. Do you? But only if it puts you into that mode, into that feeling, into that vibe,
that creative mind.
That creative state of mind. Exactly, bro. It's important.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. Because music itself is timeless.
Yes.
Like you just need to have the right execution out of it. Because hey, let me tell you, we can write the worst song ever, but if we make the execution right, the song is a banger,
Yeah. So there's a lot of songs you listen to and you're like, these lyrics are terrible, but I love this song.
Right.
It's a feeling, man.
Right. Basically. And we do it purposely because of that reason. Because if you give us the right time and you put in the effort, like it's all gonna pay off in eventually for the long run.
Bro.
Absolutely,
It's all about that vibe, and I could say that, the number one thing, the number one feedback that I get, from a lot of my clients and artists that I work with and producers that I work with is that this studio has a great vibe to it. And I pay a lot of attention to that because it's important to me, first of all, but I also want to make sure that, when you come in here, you feel good, man. I got the cool spotlights in the back, you know what I'm saying? I got a TV right here, right above, and I'll just play movies with the sound off. I'll play anime, whatever your vibe is. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and they got videos of a drone going through Puerto Rico, and it's fucking beautiful, and it just puts you in the right mode to create like a Caribbean style song or whatever it might be.
Absolutely. Shout out to our island, Puerto Rico, man. De la
PR, baby.
Canto. Boricua para que tú lo sepas, papá.
Que tú la sepas. Man, listen, I've been recording and mixing for an artist. His name is Yasin. And he's a Puerto Rican reggaeton artist. And he is stupid talented, very charismatic. And I've been, working with him for like the past 2 years now. And things are really starting to take off for him at this point. And I could tell you that being somebody who I grew up on hip hop, man, I grew up, listening to hip hop, studying hip hop, being a student of the game, to then being, a rapper myself and producing and recording and mixing mostly within that genre. And I could tell you that I just started like I said, I started working with him about 2-3 years ago. And it's opened my mind, it's opened my eyes up and my mind up to reggaeton in general. Not to say I never liked it, but I could say you've seen the way that it's made a comeback within the past few years, the way that it was popping back in 2004, 2005, it was popping, and then it kind of died out because it all kind of sounded the same at a certain point.
Yeah.
And there's no hate when I say that because you can agree with it. But I feel like the genre itself revitalized itself. And, there's a lot of artists I can name that did that. A lot of artists that now, like, my Spanish isn't great, but it's gotten a lot better because now I listen to a lot more.
The irony on that one, huh?
Right? And my dog Yasin, he comes in, he records a song, and I tell him, like, yo, send me the lyrics so I can read the lyrics. I understand Spanish better when I read and write it, So when I'm listening back to his music and I'm reading along with it, I'm like, okay, you got bars, my dude. Like he's a spitter, bro, and he's a great singer on top of that. Yeah.
Yeah. Does he speak English or just mainly Spanish?
Yeah, perfect English. Yeah, he's lived in. He was born and raised in PR, and I believe he's been here in the States for at least 10 years, something like that.
Oh, that's dope. Almost like me.
Give or take, yeah, something like that.
That's dope. So, yeah, well, I'll be happy to have him over the show, man, and give him a spotlight out of it, man.
Oh, for sure, bro. He will love that. I'll definitely, I'll connect you guys, man. I'll make that happen.
Oh, for sure. And especially he and I have a lot in common. Well, besides the fact that we're both Puerto Ricans, but we both were born and raised in the island. And we both actually seen the island at its best and at its worst, and especially in the music scene. Just like you said, a certain time in life, reggaeton was popping. I think like
Yeah.
as when Daddy Yankee hit the Gasolina track, I think that's what put reggaeton into the map.
Yeah, that was
Some may argue that it was Don Omar. I'm not gonna knock that down because Don Omar is a legend and it still is and has put it out there. But the thing is, his music reached out on an international level.
yeah, absolutely. I'm pretty. If we look up the facts, Gasolina was probably the first like Billboard topping reggaeton track.
Worldwide shit, bro.
Yeah,
Worldwide.
yeah.
Not international, not only the South America and Central America. No. Worldwide. We're talking about
Right.
going Europe, Asia,
Right.
all of the Americas, everywhere. Everyone was hitting the gasolina. Like
Non-Spanish speaking countries were singing "Dame más gasolina."
Dame más gasolina. Like it was literally a hit. And I believe that that's when fucking Daddy Yankee put reggaeton on the map. And when people
sure.
start seeing that, they start capitalizing. That's where you got your Wisin y Yandels capitalizing that momentum as well.
Right.
And then you got your other people that the up and comers that at the time where there were up and comers, I was in high school. Joel y Randy, Arcángel de la Ghetto, Farruko, Jakey Maxima. I'm naming a lot of old school guys that they're still at it to this point, you know?
Right.
J Balvin
Nicky
wasn't,
Jam.
yeah, Nicky Jam. Like before, this was before J Balvin and all these other guys that they're blowing up. It's because of these OGs that their success is right now where it is because they put reggaeton into the map. And you
named all Puerto Rican artists.
All of them.
If I'm not mistaken, yeah.
I think Nicky Jam was probably the only one. I could be wrong. Somebody can fact check me if I'm wrong.
Nicky Jam's Puerto Rican.
It is?
Yeah, he's Puerto Rican. He came up and grew up with Daddy Yankee. Remember they came out with all those songs?
I know they were together as before when Daddy Yankee was Winchester and Nicky Jam, I think it was the same name, and they did their songs in New York. But I don't know who was. I don't even remember. But someone once told me like, yeah, he's Colombian, but he grew up in Puerto Rico. And I'm like, like that's weird because
that might be that
might be it. But I don't know. Somebody can fact check me. You know, I'm not taking no ill. Nicky Jam is a boy. You know, but as far as I know, I've listened to Nicky Jam my whole life, and he's always been living in Puerto Rico and singing in Puerto Rico. So it's like, I don't know. But I do know that the age where reggaeton literally not died, but just like tone it down in the charts was probably when my first year of college back in 08 or 09. Because it was at that time, get this. It was at that time I was getting tired of listening to reggaeton, man. Because it was what you said. It was becoming very monotonous. Everybody was starting to sound the same. Everybody was just like going with the same flow and shit. I'm like, bro, we're like, can we get something new? Like, don't you give me that whole same flow shit. And then that's where I started to switch on to the EDM scene, you know?
Okay.
And then that's where I stay. That's where I am right now. And that's where years later, I moved down to Miami to go to SAE, and I met you. I met a bunch of other guys. And then all of a sudden, I remembered that year or so, Spanish trap was starting to hit.
Right. And that's what started to get me interested again, because I'm over here like, before every reggaeton song was it was pop. Yeah, it was all this. It was all the same, but besides that, it was all trying to be pop.
Yeah.
And then you started to get that Spanish trap. And then that's when I was like, I'll tell you what, Bad Bunny was the first one where I was like, okay, Spanish cats can rap, Bad Bunny, Soy Peor became one of my favorite fucking songs. And I didn't listen to Spanish music for the longest time. And then Soy Peor came out and I was bumping that heavy, dude. I love that song still.
I don't know. Again, anybody can fact check me, but was Bad Bunny one of the first artists to actually go with the whole Spanish trap movement, or was there someone else that you were aware of?
I mean, I couldn't tell you. I don't really know. I never really delved that deep into it, but I can tell you that he's probably the one that brought the spotlight to it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'll give him the credit to be one of the pioneers, though.
Yeah, because it was, like right after I heard Soy Peor, I started to discover Arcángel, Anuel, all these cats like soon after. So they had to have already been doing it as well. And, You know, I think Soy Peor was the track that like
that they jump over that train. Yeah, because Arcángel it wasn't in the game for a while, but you know, it never nobody took him down. It's just like he is not as big as Daddy Yankees, the Wisin y Yandels, the Don Omars, the Bad Bunnies. Like he was never that big. He was big, but he was not superstar big.
Right.
And I think that when Bad Bunny started with the whole Spanish rap, he started to jump in and start getting more notoriety out of it. And Anuel was the same. Anuel wasn't that good at reggaeton either. He had like hits here and there, but it was just like whatever until he went Spanish trap all over, and then it's like, holy shit, what the hell is this guy shooting these fire bars? Like, whoa.
Yeah. I mean, if we keep it real, like Arcángel and Anuel can't really sing.
No.
You know? Yeah, they can't really sing, but they're both great writers.
Yeah.
They're spitters. They're rappers. You know what I'm saying? They got bars. So like, you know, Arcángel doesn't really sing, but he does melodize, like he does harmonize nicely, you know, and just the way that he writes and his flows is crazy. So I think that, you know, that's probably why he's more of like an underground legend. And I saw him being the same thing, but all of a sudden, like you said, he shot up and became a superstar.
Yeah, especially as soon as they started with that whole Spanish trap vibe, everybody started to jump in that wagon, man. And I'm like, I can't blame them. I mean, if it's popping, bro, like don't go against it. Just go with the flow. Just like get yourself known as well. And you know, I mean, how many Spanish artists do you know now because of that one movement that happened?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. That's what, like I said, that's that era, which I want to say is probably like 2016.
Yeah.
Right around there is when I really started to open up my eyes, and like I never thought that these Spanish cats can rap, you know? And then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, they can rap. Like I feel like they caught up to American hip hop, you know, in that sense. Me, you know, I'm a lyricist at heart, so lyrics play an important part, but I'm also a musician. I'm a producer, so it's not all about the lyrics, but like lyrics are very important to me. You know what I'm saying?
I'm with you on that. Like for me, you gotta have a good bars. You gotta have the writing has to be on point. The lyrics have to punch. You know, like like my favorite lyricist up to this point, and maybe you know, and maybe it may yours, and maybe somewhere else, but to this day, it's still Eminem. Like, I grew up with Eminem. As and the whole G Unit squad, and to this day, bro, like I can still listen to Eminem and any of the albums. It could be the worst Eminem album, it could be the best, and I still listen to it because holy shit, like it's the lyrics that like drives me. You know, my fiance, she loves Eminem too, but she likes more Eminem as like as Slim Shady, the pop star. You know, but not the rapper per se. Like she likes a few rap songs from Eminem, but not like
the hits.
Yeah, the hits. Not like I love like the real lyrical shit that whole direct and then indirect subliminal messages that he says and does, like that you gotta think what he said. I was like, oh shit, that was very clever of him on his part for saying like, oh yeah, that was a hit to this guy, to so and so.
He's definitely got the type of lines that like this could have been your favorite song. You've heard it 100 times and you're like, oh shit, I just got that.
Yeah. Not too long ago, I realized the whole lyric of Lil Wayne's Millie track.
Great
fire
song.
It's a fire.
Yeah.
And amazing story. It's a freestyle. And the fact that he can repeat that freestyle again, I was just like, whoa. It was just not too long ago that I remember there was a line that was saying about goons. You say like, Gucci, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin?
Yeah.
So he says like, all right, bet you're the hot shit, but what's a hot shit next to the god? You know, next to somebody who's like bigger than you. Like you're nothing. You're just a minion. You're just a nobody. I just realized that not too long ago about that lyrics, and it's been in my head the whole time. It's like, okay, you're a goon, but what's a goon to a goblin? You know, what are you next to me? Like, what's up with that?
Dude, I could talk about Wayne all day. Definitely, you know, one of my top 3 favorite rappers of all time. You know, I put Eminem up there as well, but you know, in all honesty, for me, there's a cutoff point for Eminem, you know, and I wish I still liked him. Problem is, I just don't like his music anymore. Him as a rapper, as a writer, he is at a level that I feel like he's only competing with himself. You know, nobody can write the way that he does. Yeah. And he continues to prove that. In my opinion, I feel like, you know, if he stepped back a little bit from writing to that extent, you know, he writes like on like he's on 5 Adderalls at a time. You know what I'm saying? like he's on a limitless pill.
Yeah.
So I feel like if you step back and, you know, concentrated more on the music, you know, not to say the music isn't good, man. I just feel like there was a cutoff point for me where it's like I loved Eminem and he was hands down the best rapper ever. Like, I think Recovery was like the last album that I really, really enjoyed from him. And I loved Relapse as well. And there's like a lot of hate on that album Relapse. I don't know if you remember that one.
No, I remember that one very well. And yeah, I remember the hate. There's a lot of hate on that album. The Marshall Mathers 2 wasn't Mathers.
Yeah, I like that one too as well.
I like it too, but it wasn't well received.
Yes.
I could say like from that album, there's probably like 4 or 5 songs that I can fuck with. The rest is just like,
It feels like a lot of filler.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about a lot of his albums.
After that one, which one was it? The one that I did with Beyonce, which is the one that everybody hated.
Oh yeah.
You remember the one with Walk on Water shit?
Yeah. I don't even remember what that album was called, bro. But he lost me there too.
Yeah, he lost me there too. And I was just like, kind of like, damn, bro, I expected it more from you. And everybody was shitting on it, but I was like, I can't disagree on that fact. But then when the following year, when he hit with the Kamikaze album, the surprise album that nobody knew.
Right.
Oh my God. Redemption.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah. I didn't love the album myself, but I also have no hate towards it. You know, it's just, like I said, I just feel like there just got to a point where I just didn't enjoy Eminem the same way that I used to. And I feel like he got caught in this cycle of competing with himself rather than, you know, focusing on making entertaining music.
I think that was the problem that he's facing right now is the fact that nobody can compete with him, especially if you're gonna go one-on-one with him. Like, you're gonna get crushed. It don't matter. Like,
every like top lyricist in the game will still say, you know, and they might not listen to his new music, you know, but at the end of the day, he's an international pop star. So if he's not popping in the US, he's popping in every other fucking country. So it doesn't even matter if the US is not playing his music because he's loved in Europe. He's, you know,
Japan. Like, Japan loves the US American hip hop, bro. They're so into that, bro.
Have you heard Japanese rap?
Bro,
it's hard, dude.
That shit goes like, it takes me back in the days when I fell in love into hip hop. You know, back in those days with G Unit, and then you got the West Side and East Side Beef Coast shit. Right. It took me back when I started listening to some of these Japanese hip hop. I was like, oh, okay. And these guys are like, I love it that the majority of these rappers in Japan, like, they spit bars in English, so you can actually understand what the fuck they're saying, and they go bar to bar with the beat, and you go like, oh, nasty, bro. I definitely want to go to Japan.
Oh man, that's at the top of my list. I agree with you, bro. I definitely, you know, I want to travel a lot more. It's always been one of my main goals, man. You know, I'm not the type of person that, you know, I'm trying to get the Ferrari, and you know, I'm not really into cars, you know. And if that's your thing and that's your goal, that's what you accomplish and aspire to, do it. You know what I'm saying? I have no problem with people being superficial in that sense, man. Right. You know, as long as you're still paying your bills, but it's a goal for you to buy that car, to buy that chain, whatever it is, and you make it happen, good for you, man. I'm all about that. But for me, I want to travel, dude, and I'm hoping that music. I'm not hoping. I know that it will. There you go. That's the mentality. Right there. The direction that I'm going right now, man, I just know that music is going to take me around the world. And, you know, one of those spots, like, I don't want to pay to go to these places. I want to get paid to go to these places.
Yes, exactly. No, I'm with you with that, bro. And it's funny that you say that because today I was actually listening to Adam 22 on the No Jumper, and he had Sharp and going against Blue Jasmine. That
I don't know who that is, but
oh, you
okay.
haven't heard that Blue Jasmine shit?
Nah,
Oh, bro, just type in Blue Jasmine on YouTube and you're gonna find videos of her and people reacting about it and saying like, "What the fuck is wrong with this chick?"
Blue Jasmine. I feel like if I Google that, it's gonna be some shit like 2 girls, 1 cup. Like you're tricking me.
That's why I say YouTube. YouTube, don't Google that. No, but it's interesting thing because this guy Sharp was literally teaching her because she was thinking short term, and I think that was one of the problems with some of these chicks and OnlyFans girls and other chicks that they want the money now, the fast money, the money that, you know, oh, I got a cell phone, I got a car, I got a condo, you know, yada yada yada. They want the materialistic stuff. What they don't see is that's not gonna last long.
Right.
What you need is business. You need business for you to last long, you know?
Right.
And this guy,
investments.
Yeah, investment. And this guy was telling her, like, yo, people who talk about cars and materialistic shit, they don't last long. You're not gonna be in the same level as I am or other rich other people. You know what level I am? I'm in the level of let's talk business.
Right.
What can you get me? How do I make money? How do you make money? You know, how many properties you got? How many properties do I need to get to buy this? Okay, let's do this. Let's invest on it. Let's get some moolah behind this. You know, shit like that.
Let's talk about passive income, man. You know,
yeah, bro. We can't have that. You know, fast cash ship. You know, because if you feel like you're gonna get that fast cash ship, make sure that you're smart enough to do some small investments or get some into properties or shit like that. So that way, when the fast cash money runs out,
dries out,
it will. Yeah, you at least have some sort of a backup,
right?
You know, to pick yourself up because once the money is dry, it's dry. You can't bounce back.
I mean, they say that, you know, the average millionaire has 7 streams of income. You know, you can't have 7 jobs. That's not possible.
That's impossible. Yeah.
You may have 2 jobs, 3 if you're fucking not sleeping at all.
Yeah, and that's overkill at that point.
Yeah, but the goal is, you know, and every successful person would tell you, the goal is to be able to literally make money while you're sleeping. Make your money work for you. Yeah, you might be stacking up all this cash, but if it's just cash that's just sitting there and not growing exponentially, it's going to get spent at some point. You know, money's a friend of mine told me that money, it's always stuck with me. He said, money saved might as well be money spent.
Don't say that.
In the sense of like saving money, having a savings account, what is that really doing for you other than you saying, okay, I'm not going to spend it right now, but eventually I'm going to spend it. You know, what you should be doing is making your money work for you. You know, invest it into something that you know is going to grow or that you hope is going to grow. But it's worth it because, like, look, man, if I had, you know, $20,000 in a savings account, eventually it's going to start depleting. You've done it before. I've done it my whole life. I'm like, damn, I stacked, like, during the pandemic, you know, I was blessed and I picked up a job where I stacked more money than I ever did. You know, and there was a certain point that I was like, all right, I've never had this much money before and I've always survived without it. I've always figured out how to make $1. I've always figured out how to pay my bills. So what I need to do, instead of just having this here because it looks good, and sometimes you're like, you know, you see that number on the screen, you're like, you know, what is it if I take $1,000 out right now and I go, you know, I go fucking to the club tonight or whatever it might be, right? But if you take that money and you with the intention of growing it without having to work. So you're working and you're making your solid income every month. And you were expecting that $1,000 that you took out to grow to $3,000 in a few months, 6 months, a year. You know what I'm saying? That's money working for itself. So now you have 2 sources of income with still 1 job. You feel me? And you're supposed to have 7. Because if 5 of those dry up, if 5 of those streams of income dry up, you still got 2. You know, you focus on those 2, and then you figure out another 5, or you know what I'm saying? Like it's you have to have multiple sources of income, so you always got money coming in, so you never catch yourself in a spot, which, you know, I'm sure you've been, because I've been. You catch yourself in a spot where you're like, fuck, what am I gonna do to pay my bills? I might get kicked out of my apartment next month because I literally don't have the money right now. But then, you know, if you're a hustler, you figure it out. If you're lazy, you don't. And that's what it is.
Straight up, bro. And you basically hit the nail in the coffin on that part, man, bro. And it's very interesting the way you mention it. It's like, a millionaire who's a millionaire has 7 streams of income, and if 5 of them dries out, you still got the other 2. So you're still a millionaire because you're still making millions out of the other 2. And then you keep reinvest, Though I've always have that same mentality. I was like, all right, if I'm gonna invest in myself, I need to make sure that I gain that investment back, and so and so. And so if I'm gonna be doing this to other stuff, like if I want to get a property, I want to make sure that I get the property that I'm gonna get that money back within the year, and then some more and interest and stuff like that,
Yes.
And there's a lot of opportunities out there for a lot of people, And it doesn't, you don't have to be, that's another thing. You don't have to be rich to invest.
Right.
You just,
especially nowadays, if you, I just saw some shit that if you put your stimulus check into Bitcoin, when we first received that first stimulus check today, that $1,200 would have been $11,000. You know how upset I am?
Holy shit.
You know how upset I am? Because I don't even know what I spent that $1,200 on. I didn't even need to spend it. I should have immediately, and I had plenty of intelligent, successful people around me telling me to do just that. Like, yo, you never had that money. You never needed that money. Put it into Bitcoin.
Damn.
And obviously there's a lot of different other, altcoins and cryptos that, are making people fucking millionaires. I got friends that I'm like, overnight they're showing me their statements, and I'm like, I'm sitting here like, what am I doing? Why am I not? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you feel like you missed the train, but you never miss the train, man. It's never too late to start studying and learning and figuring out where to put your money. If it takes that much energy to make money, then you only have a certain amount of energy and time in a day to make money. So you got to let your money make money.
Basically. But you just have to find the right things for you to invest and secure yourself, because most of the time it's a gamble. Most of the time it's a gamble, because you don't know whether you're gaining this or you're taking your loss out of this,
For sure.
It's a gamble, but
if it's money that you never needed, if you look at it like, all right, if I put this in a savings account, it's just eventually gonna get it spent on some shit that I didn't need. You might as well I'm getting more into gambling. I was never a gambler before, but I had another friend, now that you bring that up, I had another friend, his name's Steven. He told me, because he was like, hey, slide with me to the casino. I was like, I'm not really a gambler. I asked him, like, what do you play? He's like, I play blackjack and I play roulette. He's like, and I'm like, yeah, nah, I'm good, man. Like, I gamble. Like, I never gone to a casino and gamble before. It's not my thing. He's like, yeah, you are a gambler. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you started a business, right? I'm like, yeah. He's like, you know what the percentage of businesses that fail? I'm like, no, but I'm sure it's pretty high. He's like, starting a business is a gamble in itself. You're a gambler. You took a risk. You take risks on yourself all the time. He's like, people win the lottery, right? He's like, why would you not put $1 down to possibly win 300 million?
Damn.
He's like, that dollar you would have spent on a fucking pack of gum. And how long is that pack of gum gonna last you?
Well, when you compare it to that, they're like, okay, I get it.
You know what I'm saying? So he told me that. He's like, you are a gambler, and if you're not, he's like, then he's like, in all honesty, bro, you're a loser. He's like, you have to take risks in this life. They say you only get rewarded for risk, right? Every risk has reward.
Right.
So if you're taking calculated risks, he's like, that's what I do. He's like, I learned how to play these games very well. So I'm taking calculated risks when I play roulette. I'm taking calculated risks when I play blackjack. He's like, I don't go there and fucking take out a second mortgage and gamble with that money. He's like, that's an addict. That's the same guy that's on the street fucking, who's addicted to heroin. It's the same fucking, literally, it lights up the same part of your brain when you're addicted. It doesn't matter what you're addicted to, right? He's like, that's a problem. He's like, but if you're taking calculated risks, the same way that you took a calculated risk opening up your own business, that's just a chance for you to win or to put yourself in a better position that you were before. He's like, because he's like, he's like, tell me, if you won $1 million right now, overnight, playing blackjack, what would you do with that million? Would you go crazy spending it? I'm like, nah, I know exactly what I would do with that million for sure. I know how much I would put away, how much I would invest, and how much I would use to grow this studio. You know, how much I put behind marketing campaigns for my music, you know, how many different things that I would do with that money.
Yeah.
You feel me? So he told me that. I was like, and it kind of flipped my whole mind as far as what gambling really means. Calculated risks.
I mean, it's a kind of fucked up way to tell you like you're a loser for you for you to get into gambling with him on blackjack.
That's what I'm saying. But, you know, those are the kind of friends you need, man. I feel like I'm that kind of friend. I'm the type of friend that I will roast you on things that I want you to change about yourself.
And and always appreciate that, bro, because those are like the actual true friends that will definitely guide you through the best times of your lives. You know,
man. I mean, true friends tell the truth, right?
Straight up, bro. There's no holding back in all that. Yeah, that's why I keep my circle very circle. You know, very
tight,
very tight.
Yeah, man. Keep your circle tight, but always expand at the same time. You know, and I think keep your circle tight. I think people get the wrong conception of it. You know, I think they think that means like, okay, I'm only gonna have 3 friends.
No. Yeah, that's a very bad misunderstanding. You know.
Yeah.
And when you say keep your circle tight, it means like keep your brothers who you trust a lot, you know, and then help each other out.
Right.
Near your presence all the time throughout your entire life, you know?
Right. It means only put your trust in those few people that you know deserve it.
Exactly. That they fuck with you, that they respect you, you know, that they help you,
right? That
they're with you from when in the good times and in the bad times, you know.
Absolutely.
That's what it means. Like, obviously, that's not a bad thing to say. Like, yo, make a 1,000 friends. Like, go for it, bro. If you got 1,000 friends that can help you progress in life, or just, you know, work together on some stuff, like, why not? There's nothing wrong about that. Hey, I mean, shit, you gotta have to do that when you're networking out there, you know, when you're new in the game and you're trying to get yourself foot into the music industry, you need to network. Networking
100%.
Basically, people when they hear the word network, it's like, oh, you know, we're gonna do business with so and so in person. I'm like, yes and no. Network meaning is that yes, you're getting in touch with powerful people, or people with power, or people who has lots of networking,
or people in a position, or people with opportunities that you wouldn't have unless you knew them.
Exactly. Now, what you do with these people is that you don't go ahead and straightforward and just like ask for business. You know, let's make a business. Like no. That's actually a bad way to approach that. The best way to approach it is being a friend. Establish a relationship with. Yes. Because
networking is all about the relationship.
I did an episode about this, about establishing a business relationship, what not to do on a business relationship. Now, I'll do another one on how do you approach people when it comes to establishing a relationship with someone, because that's how you make business, you know? You become friends, you know? You hook up with each other, you know? He does a few favors for you, you do a few favors for them, you know? We work together. We'll do stuff together. Eventually, when shit picks up and will start to grow, you say like, holy shit, my business is booming, man. All thanks to you. All because, you know, we became friends in essential. We became friends. And that's what it is. Establishing a relationship with someone. It's not about all the time making a business. It's not all the time, bro. Sometimes you gotta put that little bit of humanity in you. Into someone.
And I think that's you know, I think it does come down to like, you know, 2 different types of people, or 2 different types of approaches, you know, to networking. There's the people that are like, you know, yo, you know, I'm sure you get the you know, like I'm so and so, and you know, let's take it, you know, let's talk about the music industry, right? It's like, I'm so and so, and I'm a rapper, and you know, like, look, bro, I'm gonna be big. So like, you know, if you give me free studio time, you hook me up with some free beats, bro, I'm gonna put you on when I'm on. And I'm over here like, if your first approach was to ask for things from me, why would I ever expect that you're gonna help me in the future? And second of all, that's me betting or thinking that you're going to be successful. But in reality, those people are either just looking for a free handout or are delusional enough to think that they really are going to be this big when they don't bring nothing to the table.
Yes.
And that's what networking, and that's the second person now. The second person is the person that is not asking for things, but is literally telling you, this is what I bring to the table. And that's the most important thing when you're networking. If you want to build a relationship strictly on business, make sure that you bring something to the table.
Yeah.
And you offer that, because I offer a lot of favors, bro. I do a lot of things for people for free, without, the
expecting anything.
Yeah, without expecting it. Because at the end of the day, if they pay me back somehow in the future, great. If they don't, the universe will.
Fucking right, bro. You fucking hit the nail in the coffin in this one. That's two. Like, holy shit, bro. And ladies and gentlemen who are listening to this fucking podcast and is watching, see what I'm talking about? Because believe Vivo, I've been preaching some of this shit all the time in my podcast, and I get a lot of people who like see me. I'm like, yo, that's facts. That's facts what Wilson said. And then you got that small little people that talk the loudest.
Oh, yeah. They're the ones. Exactly. Those are the loudest.
Yo, Wilson, man, you're wrong at that, bro. That's conspiracy. Yo, Wilson's talking conspiracy theories, man. You don't know. Wilson didn't make it. He didn't make it in the idiots. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yo, like, you're crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm crazy. Right. I'm crazy.
Right. It's like, yo, you don't have to have a enormous amount of success to be able to preach how to properly live as a human being and how to properly conduct business. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is like you see those little wins, those little successes in your life, that other people don't. So you're like, okay, I got this win because I applied this knowledge. So you are the type of person that likes to give away that knowledge because it's not going to hurt you to teach somebody how to be better at life.
It does not. I do it for pleasure. It's for free. Like, you guys can just follow me on YouTube for free. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for tutoring sessions or business sessions or anything.
It's free knowledge.
Free knowledge. I'm literally giving free knowledge to the public, to everybody. I'm audio version, I'm video version, whichever version you want. And even I will say, like, yo, if you guys want to have a feedback session about music, fucking send it over to my emails. I'll give you a live feedback about it for free. I'm not asking for collaboration. I'm not asking to pay me $1,200 for any shit. Like, no, I'm giving this knowledge for free because this is.
So I had a mentor. The first studio that I interned at was called Black Shadow, and the owner was a producer named Troyton Ramey, and Troyton is like a super successful producer in the dance hall Caribbean scene.
Yeah,
Jamaican dude with amazing values and amazing wisdom that I couldn't have asked for more from a mentor at that time in my life. I was 19 when I first started interning at his studio. I came in as a recording engineer, just tracking records for him, not getting paid, and like dropped a lot of wisdom on me within that time. So to get back to what you were saying, he told me another thing that I will never forget. And I love preaching this. Knowledge is free, right?
Yeah.
Knowledge is free. And it's also the only thing that you can't give away when you're dead. You know what I'm saying? It's you take knowledge. You can either take knowledge to the grave,
right,
or you can go ahead and provide the world and provide people around you with value. Doesn't cost you anything, and it shouldn't cost them anything. But sometimes if you're a good teacher and I'm not mad at the people that do sell these lessons or whatever, as long as there is value, as long as the cost matches the value at that point. Exactly.
As long as they talk and walk the walk and their shit is not bullshit. It's like, all right, bet. That's dope. But I'm just, bro, it's the fact that so many things has happened to me and so many things has happened to my people that surrounded me. I can talk to our boy, Ricky. Do you remember Ricky from school?
Mears, right?
Ricky
Mears.
Mears.
Yeah, I do remember him. Yeah.
Bro, I remember when we were back in school, I told him, like, yo, you're gonna be, and I can see this in the future. You're gonna be as big as Skrillex.
And he was already like immediately successful while he was in school too. I saw that. I saw that growth. So like,
I saw that growth too, and look where he is right now, getting Grammy nominees, making music with Diplo.
No way.
Fucking yeah, bro. He did the Bad Bunny track Siempre with Diplo.
That's fire. Wow, that's
fire.
So cool,
he got
man.
a plaque and everything, bro. Like the guy is a fucking killing machine, and I saw him go through the process. I was right there since day one with Mike Seller, dude.
That just gave me chills, dude. That's amazing. I love to hear that.
Yeah, shout out to our boy Ricky, man. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, man. Shout out to SAE too.
SAE, bro. Yeah, they're the ones who bring us to connect to all this stuff. But I gotta give it to SAE is also part of the reason why I know some of this knowledge, because of all these experiences that I try to preach out to people, you know? Because
Absolutely.
it's, you know, back to where we were talking about, you know, about business was like, if you come out to someone, it's like, I can make you this, and that. But in reality, you're not gaining anything. It's in fact, like, they're getting a lot and you're getting nothing. Like, why should I make business with you if I'm not getting anything? And the best way to approach someone is like, here, let me offer you something without expecting anything.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I did for when I worked for Life in Color and Ultra as a promoter. They say that they can't promise me that I was going to DJ in any of those festivals. They can't that was like, we can't promise you this.
Okay.
So, but if you do the work, you do the work. All right, cool. And I'm like, all right, bet.
It might turn into something.
It might turn into something. You know what? I went on debt. I went on credit card debt, on savings account, all because I wasn't getting paid to promote. It was more of a exposure, and if you do the job, you know, we'll recognize your hard work and we'll do something. I was looking at the long game, game.
Right.
So I promoted like hours. I spent gas money. I spent food. I spent car payments. I like, you name it, bro. Like, I went to universities, bro. I went to fucking beach places, clubs. I'm not even into a club person, and yet I went there to show my presence and not expecting nothing. I never expected anything. I didn't ask for anybody for nothing. I just told, you know, the main promoters, like, this is my goal. This is what I'm trying to get to.
Oof, I like that. You stated your goals.
Yeah, I stated my goals. I said, like, I want to play in Life in Color. I want to play in this other festival. I want to play in this show. I want to do it. And I went there. I killed it myself. At the end of this, I ended up playing at Life in Color and other festivals and other shows. In fact, the first show that I did was a huge show opening up for Yellow Claw, which happens to be one of the biggest EDM trap DJs.
Let's go.
And
Let's go, bro.
All of that sacrifice without getting one penny in return. And I killed myself out of there. And you know what those people for Life in Color did? Not only did they actually, you know, give me the spotlight, they gave me the promotion. They put my name out there. They put me on the lineup to let everybody know, like, this is the rest of the lineup for all these artists that are performing. They put me on the stage. They also compensate me by giving me 10 free tickets that I can do whatever the fuck I want. Each ticket was $100. Sell it at $100. Sell it at $120. Get your money back. Get something in return. Here's your artwork.
Get all the profit you want, or give it away to 10 people that you know are gonna rock out for you.
Exactly.
And bringing energy to that club that you need, being somebody that nobody knows.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I did, bro. I worked my ass off without expecting nothing. In fact, this was the biggest launch shot ever, because I was going to credit card debt and tipping my savings account just to make ends meet, just so, you know, I can travel my car to these certain places to show them, like, how hungry I really am, bro.
Yep.
And when I started hitting the scene and then starting making music, all right, like, how do I approach to these labels? Like, because let's face it, bro, when you're working with labels, like, the labels don't know who the fuck you are. So how do you approach them? How do you approach in a certain way that, you know, they could take a look at you? Back then it was easy. Back then it was more like, hey, I noticed that you guys do a lot of musics for this genre and so. I noticed you've never done a vocal sample or a vocal pack. Let me do a vocal pack for you guys for free. No extra cost. All I ask is, you know, just put me as a credit. Give me the credit, and that's it. And I got these other songs. If you guys are interested, you can release it. If not, that's fine. But here's my vocal pack to you guys, and it's gonna be slapped under your name.
Dope.
And
Okay.
that's exactly what I did. And these labels were like, oh shit, okay, cool. Okay, what you got? Here's some of my songs.
And that came back full circle to what we were talking about before, as far as bringing something to the table.
Bring something to the table.
How many people are out here looking for a record deal when literally like with nothing to bring to the table, you know? Like, and you know this as well as I do, that labels nowadays aren't even looking at you unless you got 10,000, 20,000 people looking at you.
Boom.
They're not looking at you because you haven't figured out how to make people care about you yet. You haven't figured out how to create a fan.
Exactly.
And they don't want to do that anymore. They don't want to create a fan base for you.
No, they don't want to do the hard work. Like they want somebody that's already done. Like they want somebody that's like, you get the whole package, perfect. Boom, let's ship it just like it is.
Here's some money to do it better.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's what it is. At the end of the day, you should be looking for an investment. You don't need a record label. You do distribution by yourself.
Exactly, and you can do it,
or you just get a distribution deal.
Yeah,
you could do marketing by yourself. Or you could go ahead and just hire somebody to do your marketing, but you don't need a record deal, which used to encompass all of that.
Which is why it's something that last episode, oh my God, I got somebody who was like strongly against of what I was saying, because the title of the episode was plain and simple: stop sending demos to labels. And I give basically a 30-minute to 40-minute talk to myself, explaining the situations of why it doesn't work anymore. Like, granted, there's a few labels, and I did say that at the beginning, there's a few labels that they fuck with the community, that they fuck with people, that they like, all right, we want to hear new shit. We want to hear new people. We want to experience new shit. Let's see what you do. And they do these little competitions and whatnot to see, like, holy shit, that this guy's good. Maybe we can do something about it,
Right.
And then I said, the majority of them, scumbags. A&Rs are the worst. Like, dealing with them, like I say a lot of shit. And the shit that I was saying is I backed it up with facts. Like, I did myself my own social experiment. I also talked with some people that work in the label industry. I talked with people who were A&Rs at that time. And these were stories that they were telling me. Like, just like you said, people do not look at you for your music. They don't give a shit. They'll just look at the email like, okay, let me see your social media pool. You don't gotta, your social media is weak. Like, I don't see us benefiting. Like, we'll pass. That's what I said. I said it very clearly. Like, dude, in today's world, it's all about social media. Like, social media is now part of the package. Unfortunately, even though you may be more talented than fucking Justin Bieber.
Right.
You could be as talented or more than him. They'll still not look at you because of your social media presence. If you don't have a social media presence,
I mean, let's keep it real.
Why should I invest myself in time with you? Like, what do we gain in this? What do you gain in this?
Yes.
Obviously.
Exactly. Is this an even exchange? Are you bringing something to the table?
Exactly. Because the way that labels are seen and in today's world is like, all right, I see this guy popping. Let's see if we can bring him over here and have his people look at our music. And now we got more people looking at our music. And how do we do that? Simply, let's just release a song from this guy. Release it. Hey, we find it's dope. Let's release it. Boom. And now his traffic is now also going to the label's traffic.
Right.
Bro, I give that brief explanation. And also at the end, I let everybody know, if you still want to send music to these people, even though you shouldn't, you're better off releasing independently and let the labels look at you.
Yeah.
Okay, then here are some ways. Network, which exactly what I mentioned before. Network.
Right.
Or talk to some of these artists that are within the label. Like, send them some songs. Ask them for feedback. Don't ask for collaboration. Don't ask for any business.
Right.
Just ask them for, be polite. Ask them for feedback. Hey, what can I do better for this? Like, how can I do this better? I got inspiration by you. You're a cool producer, blah, 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 blah. I guarantee you a lot of these EDM artists will listen to it. And they will, and if they fuck with it, if the music is good, it's good. They'll fuck with it.
Bro.
And they
I
will
need to do
play
that
it.
more.
And they will play it. And then that's where all these labels and A&Rs will be like, holy shit, did you make that song? No, bro. This kid hit me up. And that's exactly how it works. See, I gave up that big piece of juicy information out there so my people can learn from this. A wise man learns from his own mistakes. A wiser man learns from other people's mistakes.
Love that.
I try to be the wiser man in this case, but I want my people that are following me and listening to be wiser men than me. I want them to take whatever happens here, bro, apply to it on your real life scenarios and go fucking kill it. Do you believe that I had one person who happens to be a fan of mine who disagreed the whole concept that I mentioned on that episode? All because he says, like, I disagree with you. Even though I had a few experiences like that, but I had the complete opposite. It's because of my demo submission. I got booked. I got DJ requests. I got record releases. And I'm like, okay, but
there's more than one way to do it.
Right.
At the end of the day, not everybody gets that quick lucky break off rip, you know? And you know what? A lot of times I would say that if you do get that quick break, you don't appreciate it the same way. Because why would you be negative towards another human being giving out knowledge that could be useful to somebody else? It might not be useful to you. Why disagree though?
And that was another thing that blew my mind. Is like, why would you say that when your situation was just like I explained at the end? Like, you literally send music to these artists, and the artists send it to the label, and the label now look at you.
Oh,
like,
so he confirmed what you were already saying.
Yeah. And it blew my mind when he said that, when he disagreed the whole thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Like, bro, this was your situation as well. Like, you had this experience. Like, none of the labels fuck with you until you start sending music to these artists, and now the artists fuck with you, the labels fuck with you. And also, now that the labels look at you, they see your social media, and you have a strong social media presence.
Yes.
That you have that social media presence. So obviously the label wants some of that. I explained that to it. And the one thing that you said to me right now, the like you were lucky enough, and not everybody gets to be that lucky.
Right.
I said the same thing. I said to it, it's like you may be the exception, but the exception is not the rule. Meaning that you were lucky enough. You were lucky enough to get it, but other people around the world who are more talented than you don't have that same luck.
Yep.
So it was just wild to me that I saw that comment from him, and I was like, really? I mean, out of all people? Like,
listen, bro, the internet, he's not a person. He is the internet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
He is the internet, because the internet loves to argue. And that's all it comes down to, man. There's just a certain type of person that, you know, I don't know, man. They must not have a lot going on for them in their life that they have enough time and energy to expel on the internet, because he's not even talking to you. He don't know you. Does he know you personally?
I mean, not on the personal level, but he's been on my show. He's been on my show.
Okay, but I mean,
he knows his manager happens to be my former manager, and we're still buddies. I have no ill things to say about him or him in particular. So I got nothing against him. It's just like I'll try to educate him.
Right. So, you know, like, without saying anything negative directly towards him, because I don't know him either. My point is like it's that mentality is it's like a subsection of the internet, bro. You got to expect that 20% to 50% of the feedback that comes from the internet is going to be negative. Why? Who fucking knows?
I don't know.
But you know, you just got to accept it. It's like, you just got to know, not everybody's going to, you know, want to like you.
I agree.
I
have people who are haters to me. So it's like, I'm used to it.
And people just need to hate, you know? People just need to hate. I'm sure there's a lot of things that I talk shit about, but I don't take the time to go talk shit on the internet about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just talk shit to my friends. You know, if I don't like a song, or, you know, I don't like a movie, I'm gonna talk shit about the movie, but I don't go on the fucking movies Instagram and start commenting on how bad that movie was.
Right. And just
I don't have time for that. I'll just tell my friend, yo, the movie sucked.
Yeah, bro. Like, that's why I was just shocked and surprised. Like, really, out of all people, you went like on a back and forth with me. I'm like, all right, you know what? At one point, I was like, you know, it is what it is. Whatever. Okay. Apparently, you know more than me, because you've been in this game for 2 years. I've been here for a decade. So
yeah. Listen, like, debate is. Some people love debate, and debate is fun. You know, and sometimes, you know, you just. It's just for the sake of it. So, like you said, that's your boy. So maybe he was just in the mood.
Well, he's not my boy. He's one of my boys' boy.
It's cool. It's somebody that you ain't got a problem with.
It's someone that I don't have a problem with. And like I said, I don't have a problem with him either directly. And he could be, and he, like I said, he's a fan of the show and he can listen to this and I don't care. Like, you know how I am. You know what I preach. Like,
I can see there's no ill will. Yeah, man.
No, there's nothing ill. I'm just trying to.
It's a specific. Yeah.
I'm just trying to educate you, and I'm trying to educate others because I've been having that mentality before once. You know, like, oh, it didn't happen to me, but again, because it didn't happen to me, doesn't mean it won't happen to him or to someone else. You know, so you gotta be a little bit. Yeah, especially if you're new to the industry. Like, bro, how many shitty shits that we know about the industry before school and after school?
Yeah, man. And, you know, all the myths and shit that, you know, that people generally know are probably all true, too. You know?
I mean, the other day, I posted another episode. Well, yeah, I posted another episode about how the music awards are rigged, like the Grammys.
Okay.
Like, not many people know that the Grammys are rigged, and everybody's like, throw that conspiracy shit. Oh yeah, the Grammys are rigged, you know, because certain artists didn't win it and so and so. But the truth is, it actually is rigged. And the funny thing is, the way I know about it is because I used to be a member of the Grammys.
Okay.
You remember, like in the last year of our module, the last module of us, when they were having all these job fairs coming over to the school. One of them happens to be the Grammy. They weren't offering a job at the Grammys. They were just saying that, hey, you could be a member for $50 a year. You could be a member and gives you the rights to vote on songs, on whatever songs.
You know what? I remember that. You remember
that. So basically, the long story short, the people don't vote for the Grammys. It's people who are within the Grammys, who are members, vote for songs. Basically, if I put the perfect example, The Weeknd, which is wild to me that The Weeknd didn't want any Grammy this year, which is wild to me.
Mm-hmm.
He submitted it. He put it on time, you know, and he put it on the certain right categories and shit and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is that when you put it as those songs and those certain categories, it goes down to everybody who is a member. And people who know the Weeknd and they see the project, it's like, oh yeah, I fuck with The Weeknd. Yeah, absolutely. He's gonna like, I vote for him. But the people who don't work in that area or that expertise or don't know who The Weeknd is, in fact, they may think that The Weeknd is like, oh, probably a party in The Weeknd, vote. And when they see The Weeknd and other names, they're not gonna know who The Weeknd is. And they see someone that they recognize, it's like, oh yeah, I know this one. I'll vote for him. That's how the fucking Grammys are so rigged and so fucked, because they give instead of giving the votes to people who are within that realm. If The Weeknd is in the,
it could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be anybody
voting.
It could be anybody.
So does it work as a like direct democracy in the sense of like, you know, your vote is weighed the same way that someone who's actually on the board of the Grammys would? You know what I'm saying? Like, is it like an electoral college or you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of like an electoral college type deal. Like, you get your popular votes from within the Grammy members,
right?
And then it reaches to the electoral part, and then the people who are on the board, they'll see it, and then they'll be like,
they ultimately decide anyways.
Yeah. Basically, that's how the Grammys work, bro. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And people are gonna come to me. It's like, Wolfson is crazy. He has his tinfoil head again. You know, holy shit, conspiracy theory, Wolfson. Here we go. It's like, nah, I've been a member. I know how it works. I've talked to people who are within the works. I've been on studio sessions in which I was working on a hip hop beats with other people as an engineer, and I heard people fucking with other people who were from salsa and bachata, and they were talking about like, we need to put more salsa and bachata into the charts. Yeah, but we all have to vote for that. Like, yeah, well, I'll let everybody know to vote for that. I'm like, see,
yeah,
all it takes is a group of people that know each other. And people may see that the music industry is big, but when you step back, it's like this small. Like, everybody knows everybody. Like,
right.
All you need is one person that knows 20 other persons.
I heard Russ in an interview, I believe was recently.
Yes.
He's like, yo, like pretty much I don't need a label, because a label is all they are is the middleman to get to like 4 channels, 4 people that you need to know. And if you know these people, you can get your songs played everywhere that it matters.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's like, I know those 4 people, so I'm good. I don't need that. I don't need a middleman. I know them personally. And I'm over here like, I need to find out who these people are. And second of all, bro, so gangster. Russ is so gangster, bro.
I love Russ, man.
I respect so much because at the end of the day, he's not just always talking about his success and accomplishments. He's telling you how he got there.
Yeah.
He's giving you the breadcrumbs the entire fucking time. Like, yo, y'all can do this yourselves. Literally, he does everything himself. And I respect that. And that's what I try to do for myself. I feel like I've always been that type of person to just learn as many trades as I needed to, as many crafts in order to keep pushing myself forward in the direction that I want to go career-wise. So I taught myself how to record and mix when I was 14 years old. You know, I had Audacity, a free program, or maybe it wasn't free and I just cracked it, you know?
It was free. Don't worry.
Okay. I had Audacity. I started to learn how to record and mix. Moved on to getting FL Studios, or back then it was Fruity Loops.
Oof, the Fruity Loop days, yeah.
The Fruity Loop days. And then getting Pro Tools, and then just falling in love with Pro Tools. And I don't know why I did, but I fell in love with the process of recording. And I always, so I taught myself how to write songs first. Then I taught myself how to record. Then I taught myself how to mix. And that mixing process, I'm still learning every day. Every time I mix a song, I learn something new because I always encounter a different problem that I need to figure out how to solve. So, moving on though, I, taught myself how to mix. Then, I taught myself how to cut up videos. So now, I can create my own content the same way that you do. You have to create this content. You just hit 100 subscribers. Congratulations, bro. That shit is not easy. That takes a lot of consistency. Yeah. That takes a lot of marketing and just, believing in the process.
Yep.
So I congratulate you on that, bro.
Thank you.
Keep that shit moving. Keep that shit pushing, and keep asking people to subscribe because they will.
Absolutely. I will never stop asking, bro. Like, keep subscribing, bro, because I'm giving this content for free, basically. And you're absolutely right, bro. At first, you start to learn how fins work, and then as time goes by, you start to pick up little new fins here and there to make your podcast a much more better. And you can see from the beginning how my podcast has grown. To where it is right now. Like right now, I'm so proud. Like obviously you don't see it from the Zoom, but when you see the episode, you see the whole progress from behind me. Before I didn't have any lights. Before it was just my 2 beds that are right there behind me. I didn't have anything else. And as the podcast grew little by little, I started to put stuff in the walls. I started to put more stuff in them. I started to put lights, more lighting, have a sub lights.
Yeah.
Better mics, better audio interfaces, better webcam. I don't have a DSLR camera like a Canon Sony camera. I would like to have one, but I have a webcam that shoots 4K and costs way less than a camera and does almost the exact same thing as a camera.
And it's way more functional.
There's way more
you're going to get out of that.
Yeah. And I had to learn how to edit videos. I had to because I'm not gonna spend money on somebody who can do it for me when I can actually do it myself. If I already know how to edit myself my own audio clips, why can't I do the videos as well? And I had to learn how to use Premiere. I had to learn, especially the thumbnails, bro.
Thumbnails.
Yeah, the thumbnails, like the promo page that I gotta put up for the artwork.
Do that shit yourself.
Yeah, I had to learn how to use Photoshop. I had to learn how to, and then now
that's what I'm talking about.
I just put stuff and that's it. Now everything makes sense, and now we got this business running.
Yeah, and like you either got time or you got money. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have money to be spending on something that you can learn yourself.
Yeah,
but you got the time, right?
I agree.
So if you don't have time to do something, then you can pay somebody else to do it. Because like I don't edit my own music. I can edit a lot of content, very well. I feel like I'm very good at video editing because I put time, and I'm a fan of all the arts. So like I see that as an art. I love film, So but I don't edit my own music videos because I know people that do it better. I got friends that do it better. And for, and like we could come back to, there's a lot I bring to the table to them as well. So
Right.
a lot of stuff could be trade off, but at the same time, I'm also the type of person to pay my friends to do things. Like if I'm gonna hire you to do my music video, you're gonna get a deposit the first day from me.
Yes.
And I'm gonna pay you in full before you know what I'm saying, right when you're finishing. So like I make sure that my friends get paid, their value too. And they'll be like, for you, I could do it. I'll be like, nah, man, what's your price? Sometimes I'll hit them with that. Like, don't hit me with the hookup, hit me with the full price. I'm coming to you not because you're my friend. I'm coming to you because I respect what you do, the quality of work that you do. I want that. I don't want a hookup. I want your work, So
yeah,
I feel like that's what it's about, man. And so, like I said, there's certain things you could definitely learn, do on your own, and certain things that you're just like, you know what? Like I can respect how, for example, all the people that I work with to do my music videos, I can respect how they work because I know what it takes to edit videos.
Yeah.
I know how hard it is to make it look as good as they made it look.
Yep.
And I respect their opinions on things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't say, hey man, I don't like the video when they give me the first draft. I'll be like, yo, love it. It's fire. Love the direction you took. I would change, if you could do me a favor, change this part, and be very specific about the things that I want different.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people like I give somebody a mix on one of their songs and be like, bro, I don't like how it sounds. And I'll be like,
okay. So
give me
more
something to work with.
Yeah. Like, give me do you have a reference?
Yeah. Give me a reference song.
Yeah.
Tell me you want your vocals to sound like, this artist, and you want the beat to hit like the way this song hits, with that type of bass, whatever it is. Give me a little reference to, and it's cool. But yeah, it's that not if when you don't know how that skill works, if you don't know what it takes to edit videos, if you don't know if you don't know anything about editing videos, if you don't know anything about mixing, recording, if you don't know anything about graphic design, then you should just hire people or work with people that you like what they do. You know what I'm saying? Or actually the point I was going to make, if you don't know anything about these skills, then you're not going to be able to give that person direction on what you want to do.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah.
So you might learn all these skills and be just a little bit good, but if you know a little bit about everything, you can actually give good feedback. You can, I don't master tracks. I mix, and I'm a great recording and mixing engineer. I'm very good, and I keep getting better. But I would never try to master songs, And I got a friend, Slim Rock, who's another genius-minded engineer that, we like the same way me and you could sit here and talk about like EQ and compression, and, get deep into like actual like engineer talk. I do that with Slim Rock. And, we see at the same level, and we both have little to no ego. So if there's something that I need to change in the mix before he can master it, I'll change it. If he gives me back a master and I'm like, man, I don't know. I feel like, the bass is a little too loud or what might be. Maybe, I'll give him suggestion on what he can do on his end.
Yeah.
And, since I only know a little bit about mastering,
Me too. I feel like I skipped that master class back in school, bro.
Yeah, like I only know a little bit. And, and I believe that you can't master your own tracks.
No, I'm a firm believer to that too, especially coming from an EDM perspective, because a lot of us were supposed to be the producer, the mixing, and master engineer.
Right.
Which is
expected in that genre for sure.
Expected for that genre.
Because the production in EDM comes 90% from the mixing.
Exactly.
The automation, and like EDM is a crazy genre that I wouldn't know where to start when it comes to mixing. I said, I specialize in hip hop, R&B, reggaeton. I could do pop, but if I was gonna do EDM, I'm like, dog, I wouldn't even know where to start.
No, bro, it's definitely hard. That's why I stick to myself with mixing, and I don't even master my own tracks. In fact, let me put it this way. And spoiler alert for everybody who doesn't know about this about me and my music, but every song of mine is mixed very, very, very good. Good enough that it doesn't feel like you actually need to master it. Because the way we look at things is like, if it sounds good, why mess with it?
Okay.
Because if it doesn't matter if it's clipping or not. That's something that I learned as an EDM artist. Because as in school, we're like, no, clipping is like voodoo. It's like, no, the devil is shit. Like, we can't let that happen. But in EDM, it's okay for us to clip a little bit, as long as it doesn't sound like it's distorted. That's the key. If it doesn't sound distorted and if it sounds good, you don't really need to master it. In fact, the mixing itself, just mix. If the mix is on point and it's good and it sounds loud enough, it sounds good enough that you can hear every little detail out of it, don't master it, bro. I know plenty of artists who are way bigger than me, like touring level artists who are thousands and thousands of followers, that I know them personally, that they don't master their own tracks. And their shit sounds like it was mastered.
You know what the thing is about mastering, though, is that a mastering engineer is a mixing engineer giving you a second opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a second set of ears. You know, so that's why I've seen it, you know, from my mentor and others, that when they got a mastering engineer that they trust and work well with, they stick to that person. That becomes their guy, you know?
Yeah.
And it's not because they're getting a hookup necessarily on the price, but it's like, this person is going to take my track to the next level that I can't even, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like I made this track sound amazing, you know? And then I get it back from him and I'm like, oh, you just took it next level. Fire. Okay. That's what I needed. I didn't even realize that's what I needed.
What's going on, everyone? If you guys made it all the way to the end of the episode and you feel kind of left out, like, why didn't the episode finish? Like, don't worry, guys. It's okay. The episode was way too big for me to put it in just one episode, that I had to divide the episode because there was so many good content and so many good topics and discussions that it cannot be discussed under one episode, but had to divide it so we can always have brand new episodes with brand new topics every Friday. Always remember that. So be sure to like and subscribe for your weekly episodes at the Lone Wolv Podcast for SoundCloud, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and of course the YouTube channel at lonewolfpod.com. That's right, lonewolfpod.com, where you can check all my latest episodes. And always remember to comment down below. Let me hear your thoughts. Share your experiences. If you guys got a certain topic that you want me to cover for the next episode, please let me know on the comments down below, and I'll do my best to do so. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys at the next one. Deuces.